Yo, what is going on, everyone? We're going to be looking at this week's TWAB. So let's check out the TWAB for today. This week at Bungie, January 19th, 2023, we got the Seraph, Anna Brand the Seraph. This week at Bungie, we're talking sandbox news, matchmaking, and we're getting amped up for Neptune. Before we jump into the TWAB, let's do a brief recap of what went down in last week's blog post for anyone who missed it. Grandmaster changes including power level. Iron Banner update after week 1 with Fortress. Including the change to frequency, Iron Banner will be available 3 weeks each season. We got our Oprah Winfrey on with armor mods. Focusing costs in this economy. Doggo behind the scenes looks at some of the good news about the goodness of the Good Boy Stay in Destiny 2. An important update to the Bungie store. So if you haven't checked that out, go do that, but not right now. Right now, we've got a TWAB to dive into. For this week, we're diving a little bit deeper into the shiny new trailer that just dropped, highlighting a deep dive with the Bungie developers into the upcoming build crafting changes and chatting about matchmaking, weapon ability changes, and more. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Friendly reminder from our player security team. Some people whose accounts were banned have said they don't remember cheating or having any sort of cheat software on their platform of choice. Anytime we investigate these cases, both recent and past, we often find that they gave their account to someone else to play the game for them. Because of this, we want to again remind everyone that you must protect your account and do not use account recovery services. Saying that your fingers were not on the keyboard when cheating occurred will not be considered during the thorough appeal process. Ooh, I see, people. So basically what they're saying is, even though if you don't cheat, and if you let somebody use your account to go flawless and they're cheating, it's not going to matter because they used your account to cheat. Alright, so get in, Guardian. We're going to Neomuna. Can you smell what the Neptune is cooking? Okay, so it doesn't make sense that we all know I'm Dwayne the Rock Johnson, but we have an epic, if we say so ourselves, which we are saying so ourselves right now. New trailer showing off our upcoming Neptunian adventure in Lightfall. Lightfall is almost here. I can't still believe it. The chance to around an underdying cyberpunk-inspired Spider-Man will be there before you know it. We're excited to show you about the Cloud Strider Strand and the brand new location to explore. For now, we can just take a second to appreciate those sweet slow-mo shots because those are dope. Bob the Guardian Builder, the evolution of build crafting. So I didn't go into build crafting the other day, so we'll go into it right now. Build crafting, it's a massive part of Destiny, but it's also ever evolving component to what it means to be a Guardian. That's always ready for what's next. For those who may have missed it, the team shared a more in-depth look on build crafting has evolved and will look like in the near future, particularly with anti-champion system, the new loadout system, and more. So what we talked about exactly, glad you asked. Here's a simplified breakdown for those looking to learn about the specific topics. So these are all the things that are changing. Loadouts and mod customization. Consolidate. How the system has evolved is what the areas team wanted to address first. How to mod customization screen will operate. Champions. New ways to counter champions, including via subclass. That's right, we'll fine tuning every single mod. Reduction and pressure of armor energy by tweaking armor mod costs and how the artifact perks fit in, and build crafting is charging in the match game. How elemental wells are changing, a brief look at the road ahead. If you haven't checked this out yet, you can read all about what's new and what's changing and how feedback players roll right here. For those interested in learning even more about featuring standalone articles this in the coming weeks, you'll know to keep on TWAB's not novel length. Alright, Rumble returns, catalysts are changing, exotic glaive goodness, and more. As we race towards Lightfall release next month, we've got a few updates we're excited to share. As a small preview, we're talking about red borders, dredging, gliding, Rumble's back, blues woes, year 3 catalyst, glaive exotic crafting. Let's dive in. Red border drop rates. On January 18th, a change went in the live game that makes it easier for players to get red borders they crave in all raids with craftable weapons and duality dungeon. Stay tuned for additional information about weapon crafting changes in Lightfall in the coming weeks. Faster dredging title yielding. You guys can read through that. I mean, do we really have to go through that? Bye Bye Blues, a soft cap. Oh, I guess I want to read this. It's happening starting within next week's patch. After you reach a soft gear cap, blue engrams will stop dropping in the world whenever that would have happened, and the equivalent amount of additional glimmer baubles will spray out instead. We're also adjusting all other gunsmith reputation gains by 25% to compensate for removing gunsmith reputation from dismantling blue gear. We may not have caught every single blue engram in the game, but vast majority should behave this way. If you find a source that will gives a blue item, please report to the help forums so we can squash. They don't want you getting blues anymore. They're too OP. Rumble, y'all. In response to player feedback, we're bringing Rumble back to the Crucible screen as a permanent fixture. Thank goodness. And remove it as a rotator in the next patch. There are more exciting Crucible changes coming in Lightfall. Stay tuned. Year 3 Catalyst Evolution. The Catalyst quest for Year 3 Season Pass exotics Ariana's Vow, Symmetry, Tommy's Matchbook, and Witherhoard will now benefit from the Season Pass boost like other exotic Catalyst quests. Additionally, any seasonal ritual playlist activity will count towards ritual progress in the exotic Catalyst quest. Easier exotic glaive crafting. Did you know that there's craftable exotic glaives we're adjusting needed to receive? I hate glaives, so you guys can read that. Save the date at the dawn we raid. Oh man, you're going to love the new raid, especially the part where save the date, folks. We're doing it live on March 10th, 2023, 9 a.m. PST, which is the second Friday in March. Another world's first. Who's going to take the win this time? Who knows? But we know we have some delicious popcorn ready. To watch Guardians from all over and shoot their shot at earning the coveted world's first belt, we need to talk about matchmaking. We've experimented with a lot of matchmaking tools through the years to help make PvP more enjoyable for all. Earlier last year, we spoke about the team had their sights on future changes. With those goals in mind, we've got the Destiny 2 Rituals team and Sandbox team here to go over a few things: matchmaking abilities, weapon tweaks. First, look at matchmaking. Destiny 2 Rituals team. Previous TWABs, we talk about our goals and to make the Crucible more accessible and fair to all players. Now we have a plan to accomplish those goals with matchmaking. In Season 18, we added a loose form of skill-based matchmaking to Control. We gathered data, we reviewed the analytics, and adjusted the matchmaking configurations, establishing the foundation for the Season 19's matchmaking for quick play, Iron Banner, and competitive 3v3. In Season 19, we added a fire team based matchmaking, and before we will continue reviewing analytics and player feedback to adjust the configurations are necessary to fire team based matchmaking. First, towards enabling a fair playing field for fire teams of all sizes, eliminating the need for freelance nodes. As we grow more confident in our settings, expect to see fewer freelance nodes beginning with Iron Banner. We know that it may seem a little jarring written out in text like that, but this is a part of process for long-term goals that will improve the experience across the board. That we've got sufficient data on these players from the internal systems. We will extend fire team matchmaking features to trials, eventually competitive 3v3. Once we've ironed out the kinks associated with fire team based matchmaking, the next feature on deck is dynamic skill matchmaking. As mentioned before, this feature is geared towards improving matchmaking if you are a low population skill bracket or during particularly low population time. This is all to say, aware of the current status of matchmaking, we are continually working to improving features. We believe that we are on the right track, and we would like to share some of the data that makes us believe as much. One such data is the match outcome prediction. We use particularly algorithm that considers multiple variables to predict the outcome given in each match, where 50% prediction accuracy is considered ideal. This would mean both teams are evenly matched, and we are unable to determine a winner based on the statistics alone. The graph below, figure 8, displays our prediction accuracy for Control before and after Season 18. We introduced loose skill-based matching, a strong indicator that our current implementation of skill is headed in the right direction. So let's see. I guess it is going to. You guys can look at that. A lot of Crucible stuff right there. They're basically saying that the matches are more fair. Hopefully this provides some insight into our efforts to make Crucible a fair, accessible, and fun experience for all players. This is an ongoing process, so please pardon our dust as we build toward a better future. Let's chat about airborne effectiveness. We introduced the airborne effectiveness system in Season 17 that gives levers to balance weapons of airborne effectiveness while airborne in a consistent, comprehensive way. We did this in preparation of the sandbox that's introducing more gameplay options, particularly with the strand subclasses and Lightfall. We had two primary reasons for this. It's important to balance increasing number of airborne movements options in their airborne effectiveness in Destiny 2 shift accessibly towards airborne gunplay over time. In a game where most modes did not have skill-based matchmaking, players using airborne playstyle could be extremely oppressive. The first reason remains true. The second has become less relevant as skill-based matchmaking rolled out as PvP modes, and despite achieving our goals, the cost and player fun was too high. After observing for a season, we made some updates to the subsequent weapon balance update while starting with a larger net rework in Lightfall. We've been playtesting these changes for a while now, and we're confident to say we've pulled them into Season 19 mid-season balance update. Airborne effectiveness affects the following aspects: these weapons, mouse, and keyboard as controller, unless otherwise noted. Auto aim, aka bullet bin, corrects bullets towards the target within the auto aim cone. Precision angle threshold controls how far away you can be from the head to get a headshot instead of a body shot from auto aim. Magnetism, aka reticle friction and adhesion, controller only slows down your reticle when it passes over a target. Accuracy controls how much bullets spread out with repeated fires. Spread angle, pellet shotguns only, controls with the wide of pellet, controls the width of the shotgun spread pattern. You guys can read through all that. Primary weapons, aim assist, reduced all additional primary auto aim bullet bin penalties by 60%. AE mouse and keyboard, increase the precision angle far off the head target. They're basically making it way better for us to aim in the air. Removed all additional primary weapon magnetism reticle friction penalties, and yes, let's go. Special weapon snipers and slug shotguns reduce base airborne accuracy penalty by 50%. Thank you. Shotguns are going to be viable again. Weapon types. SMGs with high range stat easily outclass all other SMGs with low range auto rifles and hand cannons. We recently made a change that brought these higher range options more in line, but the difference between them and the SMGs was too large. In some cases, offenders that could hit nearly maximum range were still a bit too strong. As such, we made a large improvement to the SMG performance at lower range values, combined with small decrease to the higher range values. So they nerfed the ones that were OP and they buffed the ones that weren't. Increased the damage of aim assist fall off start at 0 range by 30%. Reduced damage of aim fall off start at 100 by 6%. Adaptive SMG behind lightweight's effectiveness, dealing more body damage shots. You guys can read through all that. It just got nerfed, just know that. Pulse rifles looks like they're getting a nerf. Pulse rifles are very potent in the current meta. Their effectiveness and ease to use longer ranges makes it hard to close distances to challenge them with many other weapons. This is especially true with mouse and keyboard, where the normal effective range is significantly increased by a tighter bullet spread of each burst. The current map rotation, which is scheduled to change in Lightfall for both competitive Crucible and quick play, heavily favors the ranged playstyle, and airborne effectiveness has made airborne play more difficult. With those things in mind, we didn't want to hit pulse rifles too hard, and without the first seeing the effects of other changes in the overall sandbox, but we reduced the top end range of pulse rifles on input types, increase the native recoil on mouse and keyboard, bring their more in line with the controller. These changes should combine to make pulse rifles less effective at longer ranges without hurting players who choose to use them more actively. Reduce aim assist fall off start at 100 range by 10%. Reduce damage fall off range by 5%. Reduce recoil 20% on mouse and keyboard only. BXR Battler is by far the most effective legendary pulse rifle, in large part due to being extremely strong up close with the legacy frame, intrinsic, highly lethal at long range with the best subfamily zoom. We felt the fantasy of gun fit better CQB, hipfire, aggressively play style of gameplay, so we brought the zoom down more closely match standard lightweight pulse rifles, which will open up some space and options to work in. Reduced the BX Battler zoom from 20 to 18. Ooh, that thing got nerfed. The mid-season 18 sidearm aim assist fall off had the desired effect of encouraging players to both input devices, experiment sidearms, blah blah blah, but we're exceeding the effective range by a small amount. So yeah, range by a small amount. We talked about slightly pulled and give a lower range to primary weapons a little more room to thrive. Reduce the season 18 aim assist fall off distance from 30% to 20%. Exotics. Dead Messenger can be oppressive to play against, as a triple wave pattern can easily be combined with a number of abilities and weapons and effectively one hit a player. So we've brought down the damage significantly, make playstyles less effective with these changed still cases in PvP, but it's less frustrating to play against. Reduce splash damage against players by 35%. Deadman's 12 tweak 6.3 update, switching its aiming from preferring body shots to preferring crits, is much more dramatic effect than expected. The weapon was initially tuned around preferring body shots. This meant it had a larger aim assist cone to compensate, and when this was addressed, it spiked the effectiveness. At the same time, to damage penalty, hitting the maximum stacks of cranial spike never felt good. We pulled back various hip fire tuning to make hip firing at longer ranges harder and remove the cranial spike penalty. Remove the damage penalty for 5 stacks of cranial spike. Reduce hip fire airborne aim assist cone angles by 25% on mouse and keyboard. Reduce hipfire cone angle bonus scaling from 20% to 5%. Reduce hipfire precision aim cone angle from 3 degrees to 0.8 degrees. Reduce hipfire aim fall off scaler from 1.5 to 1.1. That thing was probably so dirty with the hipfire. We're seeing the revoker usage increase as more PvP modes have power level removed. The reversal of fortune perk is extremely strong, and particularly in combination with certain playstyles. Ultimately, we decided to cap the maximum return on this by requiring multiple misses to return one shot. Now triggers on 2 misses within 6 seconds. Revoker gets nerfed. That's so messed up. The future. Coming in Lightfall, we're doing heavy weapon balance, adding subclass 3.0 verbs, several exotic weapons, tuning weapons, adding new perks, make exotic connect weapons more valuable, more substantial changes to weapon hipfire reticles with the goal of exposing more information to specific weapon types or exotic functionality. A full auto melee setting. Another set of craftable reprised raid weapons with an origin trait similar to what we did in Deepstone Crypt. Regular season and mid-season balance updates and more. Sight and Ramparts. Increase cooldown to the barricade ability while Sight and Ramparts are equipped by 70%. Increase the amount of damaged players and Sight and Barricades 25%. Okay, now onto the abilities. In the patch 6.3.0.5 scheduled to be released in the week of January 24th, we're releasing some abilities changes that we've been playtesting in Lightfall to address some of the outliers in both PvE and PvP. In Crucible, class ability uptime has been inflated significantly over the course of the last year, so we're increasing the base cooldown of Barricade, Thruster, and Dodge by 20%. So less barricades, guys, that's good. Increase the base cooldown time following the class abilities by 20%. Barricade Towering Barricaded base cooldown increased from 40 seconds to 48 seconds. Rally Barricade is 32 seconds to 38 seconds. Thruster base cooldown increased from 30 seconds to 36 seconds. Dodge. Marksman's Dodge base cooldown increased from 29 seconds to 34 seconds. Gelmer's Dodge base cooldown increased from 38 seconds to 46 seconds. Alright. With an update to 6.3.0 at the launch of Season 19, reduced the linger time of the Touch of Thunder's enhanced storm grenades, but this is meaningful move the needle to either their potency or usage across the game mode. So we're taking a harder swing here. We're reducing the damage dealt by each lightning strike by 25%, making it significantly easier to avoid roaming storm by decreasing the tracking speed and distance, especially near the start of its lifetime. Touch of Thunder Storm Grenade. Secondary strike reduced from 40 to 30. Added a 0.2 24-second delay between the grenade's initial strike to the impacted creation of the roaming storm. The roaming storm's travel speed now begins at 1.5 meters per second and ramps up over 1.3 per second to a maximum of 3 meters per second, previously traveled to a flat 3.5 meters per second. The roaming storm target search range now increases over 2 seconds after creation rather than starting at full size. In August 2021, with the update 5.3.0, we added a weapon penalties that affected the player while sliding. The goal was to change to reduce the percentage of engagements where the outcome is decided by sliding, especially when used with shotguns that instantly ended fight from a significant range. Shotguns and other weapons have been tuned since then, and we implemented skill-based matchmaking into the Crucible, so we're removing slide penalties in order to improve the feel of the consistency of combat. Remove the ability of incoming flinch and shotgun pellet spread while sliding. Alright, there's that. Lunar New Year, be right back. We've got a rabbit to celebrate. There's the new emblem, guys. If you haven't got it already, I made a video on it. Go check it out, youtube.com/year1blink. Somebody called me spam. And there's some new emotes and stuff. Yeah, there's the rabbit emblem, guys. Older Prime Gaming loot is about to expire. Go get your Prime Gaming loot. You guys can read through that. Here's some new here's some new stuff for your phone. I'm gonna download. You guys can download it there. Check it out real quick. That's pretty cool. This is like the Seraph and Anna Bray.
Hello YouTube, how's it
Player
going?
support.
Year1blink here, back with another new video today.
Known issues. Praise the Sunspots and Lemon Boys.
This will be the Jolted Tempest build. So this was the
Salt,
exotic that we
Salted
got from Season of the
Prego.
Thunder. The danger within is repulsive.
Whatever that guy's name is. Earth Archangels. Excuse me. One last thing, new year, new socials. One goal we have this year is to continue improving how to communicate with our community. In the past, we've relied heavily on the community manager accounts to share a lot of information, context, and clarifications. Often worked great, and we saw that many of you appreciated the additional transparency, but we also created some unfun times for the community managers or other Bungie employees who shared Destiny 2 information from their personal accounts. We want to make sure that we are protecting our people without sacrificing opportunities to engage directly with various platforms. Today we're creating Destiny 2 team accounts on the following platforms to help us move away from using community managers' personal accounts as we have in the past. Destiny 2 team on Twitter, Bungie.net, Destiny 2 team number 7714, and then we got a Reddit one. And then you guys can really pretty much go into that. That's pretty much it, guys. That's gonna do it for the TWAB. A lot of stuff getting nerfed, thank God. Pulse rifles getting tuned down because they were broken, and a lot of stuff coming in Lightfall. I can't wait. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.